Alright, welcome to another episode of the Great World of Sports. This one, I'm going to talk about my matchups for the Road to the Dome final for the NYSPHSAA School Football League. So, the Carrier Dome at Syracuse University is getting a new roof on it. I think it's going to look really nice. Here's a picture of what I believe that's going to look like. Alright, that's what the dome is supposed to look like, I guess, when it's done. We'll see. So now here comes the part, excuse me. Here comes the part that we've been waiting for, the matchups. So all these matchups are opinions on my own. They're not facts or anything, they're just my opinions and what I think. So, we're going to start off with the Class AA matchup. Here we go.
So for Class AA, I got CNS Cicero North Syracuse out of Section 3 versus Section 2's Shakers Bisons.
So I got those two teams, Cicero North Syracuse versus Shaker from the Albany area, so Section 3 versus Section 2. CNS appeared in the semifinals 2019, 2018, 2017, came up short. I have a big feeling that if they do move the season to March, which that's probably a possibility, I believe. That's what they're saying. We'll have to wait and see. I have a feeling that, they've been there 3 times. 2017, actually 4 times. 2017, 2018, 2019. The 4th time's the charm for the North Stars out of Section 3. And for Shaker, 2019, they were undefeated. They were doing really good. They got beat by Gorderlands out of Section 2, the Albany area. But I have a strong feeling that the AA matchup is going to be CNS versus Shaker. Now we're going to move on to the Class A matchup.
For the Class A matchup, I got Indian River out of Section 3 versus Warwick out of Section 9.
So that's what I got for the Class A matchup. And there's a lot of, these are all my opinions about the reason why I chose Indian River out of Section 3 and then Warwick out of Section 9. There's a lot of reasons. Okay, we flash back to 2018. Indian River was undefeated. They were planning on winning their 2nd title for the first time since 2014. The funny thing is, Indian River was supposed to go to the Dome that year in 2018 and win a title. If they did go that year, I'd picture them going against John Jay Cross River out of Section 1. But, I don't know what it was with West Seneca East out of Buffalo. Like, they were trying to copy their crosstown neighbors because they won a title before. But, I don't know. I felt like that game was kind of unfair back in 2018. But, the 2020-2021 season could be a different story. I was going to picture Indian River going against John Jay, but John Jay has a really different type of a roster for this upcoming season. So, I looked at other teams in the New York area from Section 1, 2, 9, and I found those were the only teams I found that I think would be good enough would either be Fox Lane out of Section 1 or Warwick. I don't know. Somehow I can picture it being Warwick because Warwick has an average roster. Same thing for Indian River. They have an average amount of juniors, an average amount of sophomores, but when those juniors of this year become seniors, they're going to have a really big junior class. I checked their JV team's record. They only lost 1 game of the season. So all those sophomores are probably going to be a part of the varsity team, and it's going to be a pretty big junior class. So we might see Indian River get one for 2020, the 2020-2021 season, and the original 2021 season. I think it's going to be a good game. There's nothing else I gotta say. That's all I got. So now let's move on to the Class B matchup.
For Class B, I got Pleasantville out of Section 1 versus Palmyra-Macedon, Palmac out of Section 5.
So for the Class B matchup, I am picking Pleasantville out of Section 1 against Palmac, aka Palmyra-Macedon, out of Section 5 of the Rochester area. Wayne County, Finger Lakes area, however you want to say it. So here's the thing. Pleasantville, they won their first title back in 2017 in a wild game against Classic Powerhouse out of Section 4 and defending champions Shenango Folks. You know, they have a lot of juniors on their roster, and that shows for the 2020-2021 season. They're going to have a pretty big team. Same for Palmac. They're kind of going down the same lane right there. I picture that game being good. I basically picture that game looking like the Class AA matchup of 2016 when Victor played against Section 2's Troy. If you guys remember that game, where Victor came up short on that 2-point conversion. I picture that game kind of being similar like that. Who do I have a prediction to win? Well, I am from Section 5. I don't really follow, I don't know. I picture it being a close game. Somehow I just picture, even though I'm a Section 5 guy, I kind of picture Pleasantville winning because, you know, downstate, you know, they play things differently. Not trying to criticize Palmac, but, you know, anything could happen in games, but that's what I think. So now, next up is Class C.
For Class C, I got CSP Clymer Panama Sherman out of Section 6 versus Sable Valley out of the Adirondack area.
So Clymer Panama Sherman has been very successful in the last few seasons in Section 6. That program has won the 2018 title and the 2019 title as a Class D school. Now they're moving up to Class C. And for this one, I picture them playing against, I think they're from Section 10 or 7. I don't know. I always confuse the area. I usually call it the Adirondack area. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Sable Valley, Sable, I don't even know how to say it, but I picture them facing up against CSP against Sable Valley. That'd be a pretty good matchup. I picture CSP, Clymer Panama Sherman, winning it because they won it in 2018 and 2019 for the 2020-2021 season. I think that they're going to win it. Now let's move on to Class D.
Last but not least, Class D. I got Tioga out of Section 4 versus Chatham out of Section 2.
So I pick Tioga out of Section 4 against Chatham out of Section 2. So Chatham had a really good season, I think, last year, but they came up short in the second or third round in the Section 2 Class D tournament. But I do have high hopes for them for the 2020-2021 season if they're going to be healthy and strong. And if they don't show up in it, then I'll have to pick someone else, or I can find it out if a different way. But that's all I got. All these prediction matchups, these aren't facts, these are just my opinions on who I think it's going to be. Opinions are my own. And, as always, I'll see you in the next episode of The Great World of Sports.